I know there's been a lot of discussion since Friday's report, that people are being paid to stay home rather than go to work. Well, we don't see much evidence of that. That is a major factor. We don't see that. Look, it's easy to say the line has been, because of the generous unemployment benefits, that it's a major factor in labor shortages. Americans want to work.
He's right. Americans do want to work. That was President Joe Biden yesterday addressing growing concerns that Americans are staying home instead of going out and getting jobs because many, let's face it, are making more money not working. This coming after the release of that April jobs report on Friday, where the unemployment rate actually went up despite millions of jobs being available across this country right now. And joining us to talk more about this growing problem is Texas Congressman Roger Williams. Congressman, good morning. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you guys.
Congressman, Americans, look, I think we both know who the American people are. You much better than me, but Americans do want to work. It's in our DNA. But I've got to be honest. I don't know if I blame somebody for sitting home on the couch if they're making more money than if they were sent out to wash dishes or do some sort of minimum wage job. The problem goes way beyond just that, doesn't it?
Well, it does. I mean, we literally are paying people to stay at home. And the problem, I'm an employer back in Texas, hundreds of employees that we have. And the biggest concern I have is the fact that we are telling a generation of people that unemployment is a career. I mean, unemployment is not a career. And we saw with the tax cuts that we had under the Trump administration that we had more jobs than people because people were getting hired. Now we have more jobs than people because people are sitting at home. It's a dangerous situation, but let's face it, I mean, it's part of what this administration wants to do. It's a call of socialism, and that's what we see, and that's what we need to fight for. People do want to go to work.
Yeah, Congressman, you bring up a great point there. So I had a friend who was making more money sitting at home versus being out there and getting a job. And he had a great point, and this just kind of crystallized it for me. He said, if somebody offers me $18 an hour to work and I'm making $15 an hour to sit at home, I'm probably going to sit at home and I'll eat the $3 extra an hour. There's no incentive. I saw a tweet that you put out yesterday. You said, quote, the numbers don't lie. Last week's jobs report proved that more people are willingly staying at home versus getting back to work. Our economy is recovering. Our businesses are back open for business. And now it's time to get people back to work. But right now, we're in a unique situation because there are millions of jobs available, which isn't always the case with recessions and depressions.
Well, but business is still good. That's the interesting thing. I mean, the tax cuts, the Trump tax cuts are still in force. Business is still good. But the fact of the matter is, we're selling more product. There's signs everywhere in Texas. We want people. We need workers. But workers are found a way to beat the system. And like you say, make more sitting at home. And this is not what this country's built on. We still have the greatest workforce in the world. We need to put them to work and not reward them to sit at home.
Congressman, Florida, North Carolina, Montana, they're all stopping those $300 expanded unemployment benefits. At some point, don't you think all 50 states should do this so people are more incentivized to get back to work?
I think without a doubt. I mean, and I think you're going to see it more and more every day. We don't want the money. People want the opportunity. And let's go back again before pre-COVID. We had more jobs than people because business was good, more startups. People wanting to take risk, wanting to get reward, the American dream. And now it seems like we got an American scheme going for the generation of people. Just sit at home, we'll pay you, government will take care of you, and that's the destruction of a nation.
Boy, it's unbelievable to watch this play out. I wanted to ask you about the border today. Coincidentally, 49 days ago, it was March 24th, that Kamala Harris was tapped to manage the crisis on the border. I think it's pretty darn clear that Joe Biden and the vice president have no interest in seeing the situation with their own eyes. Are you surprised that other Democrats haven't gone down there, though, at this point?
Well, they don't want to go. They know it's a crisis. They do not want to have to say they saw it.
Right.
I've been down at the border every year since 2005 when I was Secretary of State. And it's as bad now as it's ever been. I mean, we've asked people to come across illegally. They're coming through the ports of, between the ports of entry, not through the ports of entry. 172,000 confrontations in March. There's no court dates being given to them. They're being released. We've got people all over this Texas that are held up in areas and they're going to be released. And they're going, they don't speak English. They're hungry. What value are they going to add to this country other than the Democrats trying to get them to vote?
Congressman, I noticed the cleats behind you there up on the shelf. I knew that you were a baseball player, I believe drafted by the Braves. Is that accurate?
That's right, Atlanta Braves, yes.
I wanted to bring this up. Where are you with Major League Baseball pulling the All-Star game out of Atlanta? Not only is that tragic for the people of Atlanta, but I also think that's tragic for Major League Baseball and the people that do still watch live baseball.
No, it was a horrible decision coming out of the commissioner's office. I've talked to the commissioner about it. Baseball should have stayed where they are. The fact of the matter is that we were going to honor Hank Aaron, for crying out loud, in Atlanta.
Right.
That was a big thing. But you like a lot of businesses, $100 million of businesses have gone. A lot of businesses were minority-owned businesses. It was a bad decision. I think baseball actually realizes they should have listened to two sides of the story rather than one. And so hopefully we'll get things back to normal and get back to playing baseball. That's, you know, you look at baseball, it brought us out of World War I, it brought us out of World War II, it brought us out of 9/11, it can bring us out of COVID.
You just gave me chills. I remember that pitch George W. Bush threw at Yankee Stadium there. You're exactly right. Perfect strike. That's a great point. Congressman Roger Williams, great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on with us. We appreciate it.
As always, thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.